course so photogenic. All my life I've been a go-getter. Wake up in the morning, kiss my son, then go get it. Top floor, top dog, like I just signed a TDE. Gang, 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 gang. Know we all gotta eat. Up late, bills due, rent due, I ain't been asleep. Looking in the
From the oldest capital city in the Americas, founded in 1325, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Mexico City. Tonight, we kick off Week 3 with a great Thursday night matchup between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Mexico City Diablos. As of this morning, summer officially over. It's time for autumn football, and we're underway on EA Sports. And the opening kickoff will not be returned, as that will be a touchback. So the drive's going to start with Pollard. And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards. That'll bring up second down. Well, this defense, Charles, really played well in that win a week ago.
But we certainly had a nice conversation with the defensive coordinator, didn't we? And what we heard, I like what we did, but we definitely need more pressure on the quarterback this week.
That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. That one, a first down pickup of 8. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. And you know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
The last run got 9. That leaves them with 2nd and a yard. Here's Pollard again. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
They did tell us they wanted to establish the ground game early, didn't they?
They did, in a small sample size that we've seen so far, but pretty good return.
Yeah, you got to like that. They've strung together a couple of first downs, established what they wanted, the running game. And guess what? They also got their lead guy running it pretty well, too.
So they'll get 8 out of that completion, and they'll be left with 2nd and a couple. Well, this defense very strong in that victory from a week ago.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35.
And they'll use him out in the backfield, and sometimes quite a bit. They're just trying to get him touches any way they can. 4 catches a week ago. There's another one right there.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They run straight ahead here with Pollard. And he's got some space here. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. First down for the Chiefs. Solid chunk of yardage, 17 on the play. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all this stuff.
And I think the ball's out. It's going the other way.
Let's let's face it, everybody at the start of a game has a mental image of how they expect it to go, and I think that was going exactly as they scripted it offensively. Moving the ball well, seemingly in control, and that fumble, that's got to be a little bit deflating, don't you think?
Yep, foiled the whole plan there, turned the ball over. Taylor to start the drive. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. This running game so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
Second down, another run with Taylor. Room here to run. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. That's good for 21 yards and a first down. Even from up here in the booth, the play-by-play guy could tell that there was some pretty good blocking on the right side of the line.
Well, you have good eyes, and it's almost like a ballet when it's executed that well. Everyone in the right spot, everyone in sync, everyone hitting the perfect notes. A little more percussion and a lot more bass, I would think, than you get your normal ballet. But at the same time, that was well executed.
17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 42-yard line. To the right side, this is Taylor. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. Here's Herbert. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Well, touch and timing are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. On 3rd down, here's Taylor. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. It's a 7-yard run, but it does bring up 4th down.
Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling them in the huddle right now.
Butker's kick here is good, and that'll make it 3-0 here in the first. So the defense are able to force their first turnover of the game, and then they add on to that by getting the field goal.
And you don't just want to take the ball away from your opponent, partner. You want to make them hurt as well. And if you don't score yourself on defense, turn it over to your offense and have them put points on the board.
And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And they are losers of 2 straight coming into this Thursday night game. Is it more difficult, CD, when you take a losing streak into a quick turnaround game like this?
It certainly is, because you don't get time to work on the issues that you've had throughout the season that have caused you to have the record that you're having. You can't really get those set. So now you're trying to minimize those and maximize what you've been doing well. And I remember a game recently where one of the assistant coaches said to the head coach, forget our running back rotation. This guy has a hot hand, and they rode him to a victory. Those are things you have to look out for in games like this.
Extra point by Gay is up and good. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. Following the touchdown, here's Gay to kick it away.
Oh, I didn't know you was late. I was in the shower. What are you talking about?
They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And able to break this out all the way to the 38-yard line. Great return. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They're riding a 2-game winning streak into this Thursday nighter. How easy is it when you're on a roll to stay on a roll given the quick turnaround?
Well, you would think it'd be pretty easy because everyone's locked in practice and meetings because everyone feels good about themselves. And for coaches, this is where they have to tell themselves, don't add too much. Don't worry about game plans as much as players. So look at your play sheet and think, give it to the guys who play best, and don't worry about the rest of it.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Herbert takes it and just pops it forward. And now off to the races, down the right side. And touchdown! They erased that deficit pretty quickly, did they not? A two-play drive.
What do we call that? Short-lived?
Very
short-lived. 2 plays later, they're in the end zone and back out in front. We always talk about drives, don't we? Does 2 plays count as a drive?
Not really. That second play was so good. I don't care what we call it. It was enjoyable to watch. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive.
Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare. Incredible when they do, and you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
Second and 6. No, scratch that. 2nd and 7. Here's Prescott. He's going to air one out. And he fires one that's intercepted. And he will take this all the way down to the 38-yard line. They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster. 5 interceptions in that loss, and another pick there.
I played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game, and the head coach said, I'll take him, I'll fix him. The very next game, he started out the exact same way. The head coach turned to the offense coordinator and said, he's yours from now on. Someone has to take responsibility and work with him and try and get him settled.
Down at the 35, it'll be 2nd down.
Not a big run on the first play of the drive, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was a bad play. Sometimes you're just trying to settle in, get your guys a little bit of contact, and get things moving.
2nd down, another run with Taylor. And some room to work. And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown. Jonathan Taylor with his 4th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Diablos are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by Butker is on target, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And he returns this to the 22. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive.
Winless to start the year at 0-2, and now they get the Thursday night game here in Week 3. So, I don't know, does the fact that they're back out so quickly, Charles, help or hurt their cause?
Oh, I say unequivocally help, because you always want a Thursday game earlier in the schedule rather than later, just because the grind of the season hasn't really set in yet. But also, if they can get a win here,
come on!
mini open week, recharge a little bit, and carry some fresh momentum into the rest of the season.
He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
On third down, it's Prescott. Able to find Gesicki as tight end. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
Yeah, these are the types of plays they're going to need to hit on if they're going to get back into this game. It hasn't been the greatest of first halves, but this is a nice throw here on third down, and they keep the drive going.
Rifles one, that's going to be intercepted.
And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Again, it's Taylor. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Just a couple on the ground there. That's going to bring up 3rd and about 6.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Off the option, here's Taylor.
And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater. He just made a great play there.
Butker's kick here is good. And that will open the lead up now to 20-7.
So golden field position there squandered as they can muster only a field goal.
Yeah, you were gifted a first-to-goal situation, but I have to give credit to the defense. They were brought out in a really tough situation, so give them credit to hold them to 3. That's a pretty nice accomplishment.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. Had one tell me once, we were having a tough patch. This too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things.
And Prescott, his 3rd interception. Picked up by Brandon Stevens.
And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
But Charles, you can just see the frustration on the sideline. Safe to say that's not how they expected this series to go. The ball only went one way, and it was backward into their own end zone, courtesy of the pick 6.
And, Brandon, how often do we hear offenses tell us before a game they want to end every series with a kick, right? A punt, a PAT, or a field goal. In case of a defense, they wanted to end with a punt or a takeaway. And we saw the takeaway right there, and it turned out to be a takeaway that turned into 6 points.
And he's probably realizing he should have stayed in the end zone as he can only muster a return to the 14-yard line.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together. and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily that you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down.
And we've seen him have success earlier on with the ball in his hands because he is a get it in space and make a play kind of a receiver. But that time, they closed on him quickly and held him to a short gain.
Prescott from the gun on third. Got a man, Slayton. And he will have a Chiefs first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try and put some points on the board.
Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that's going to bring up second down. Now Prescott. This is caught. It's Brown. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half. I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
First down, Prescott. And that is incomplete. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. Actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
A second down throw for Prescott. That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
This will be play number 8 here on the drive. It's 3rd and a yard. Prescott yet again. Swinging this out for Pollard. And he will have a Chiefs first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Now a timeout called for by the offense as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Here's Prescott. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I have to give some credit to the defender on that when he read all of his keys perfectly and got a great break on the ball and able to force that incompletion.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Throwing, Prescott. And he's got his tight end. It's Mike Gesicki. Now another timeout called for by the offense as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. To the air again, Prescott. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked by Kevin Byard. And he'll be brought down at his own 10-yard line. Charles, one thing that he referenced to us yesterday was his confidence fitting the ball into any window, but obviously that window was a little too tight, and it was closing in a hurry.
And he was talking to us about having anticipation in making those types of throws. Down near the goal line, I don't think you can anticipate it as much as you need to see it open. You've got to be precise with your throws down here in the red zone. That one goes into double coverage, and he gets picked off. And they were backed up to start the drive, but not anymore. Now, that's the play call that the offensive coordinator had in his head. You saw the end result. He wanted to go ahead and push the ball downfield, and that's what they did. And they wound up with good yardage there to get things rolling.
There he goes, right side. And all the way in for the touchdown. Jonathan Taylor with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Diablos continue to pull away here in this first half. Butker now to add the extra point. And that stretches the lead to 27. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Jonathan Jones. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his second interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go. After the turnover, here's Herbert. He'll find Taylor. That's complete. And he will have a first down as they're into field goal range now at the 30. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Back to throw here, Herbert. And this one is incomplete.
Well, it hasn't been a banner first half for the defense trying to cover him today, but they'll take that one right there, helping force that incompletion.
So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. It'll come from the right hash. It's a 47-yard attempt. Butker's kick here is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we send you up to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3.
This is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. The first half definitely went their way, and this would seem to be a great opportunity to kind of put this game a little closer out of reach with a score here.
Yeah, and it's a wonderful opportunity for them because if they can add 7 more to their lead before the other guys even see the football, that could be the decisive blow in this game. I think that's how they're eyeing it. That's how they're approaching it.
Second down, another run with Taylor.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
Boy, 175 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Not a huge carry there on first down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on second down.
On second down, it's Taylor.
Takes this to the 45. Not much space after that broken tackle. A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on first down.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Past the 20. And he will take this one in for a touchdown.
Justin Herbert,
45 yards.
And the Diablos are pouring it on.
Extra point by Butker is on target, and the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. Now they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Another catch for Valdez-Scantling. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
There's a nice pickup right there, and after watching that play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing to move the ball.
In trouble, and he's taken down. Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him. Throwing on second and long. Prescott. And now here is another interception. Picked up by J.C. Jackson. What a nightmarish game he's having now. 6 interceptions that he has thrown.
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it, but it just tells you about the game of football. It giveth and it taketh away.
Yeah, the guys, though, that have thrown 6 interceptions in a game, the likes of Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, I think Joe Namath, he did it 3 times. First and 10, Taylor now. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
And the lane closes up quickly as he'll get about 3 down to the 38.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game, and while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
They run once more with Taylor, and he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th. He handed it off there, but I don't really know if he would have kept it or tried to do anything else if it would have mattered.
Yeah, it's not always a wrong read when a play gets stacked up. Sometimes they're just at the line of scrimmage with just too many bodies to maneuver.
And as a result, now they're looking at a 4th down. Well, the only silver lining on the other sideline, CD, is that they kept him out of the end zone, but still, that's another 3 points added on to this large lead.
Yeah, no shortage of scoring or big plays on defense in this one. And even up by 4 possessions, still finding ways to create opportunities and capitalize with points.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive.
Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And this is picked up by the defense. They find some open field here. He's got room at the 30. And what a return as he brings this all the way back down to the 20-yard line. These defenses have become so opportunistic, and no matter what you're playing, in this case, wide. Be careful.
Certainly do, because there is a phrase in today's football that we use all the time, completing the process of the catch. Well, it's after you do that where the trouble begins, right? Meaning you've tucked it away, you're trying to get downfield, but someone's always coming up trying to rake at the ball and knock it free.
Now Herbert following the turnover. And now this is intercepted. My goodness.
And the Chiefs are going to take possession here at their own 6-yard line. Well, with the size of lead that this offense has, I don't think that interception is really going to affect them much. But at least for this defense, something small to hang their hat on.
Yeah, and let's face it, they're not even scoreboard watching anymore, right? They're just trying their best to make a play, get themselves off the field, which they just did, and salvage a little bit of pride in this one.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Brandon Stevens. And he'll bring it back to about the 5-yard line. But such a costly interception, nearly a pick six, but now they're so close they are knocking on the door for a touchdown.
And I never want to get on any team for being aggressive because that's part of what their makeup is, and oftentimes it's successful. But in this case, you've got to be selective about it and make sure you take care of the football. That interception almost cost them 6 points. Now their defense has to run onto the field, probably giving the quarterback a few side eyes along the way. They've got to see if they can stop a score.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw it for a loss.
Again, it'll be Taylor. And he gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4.
That didn't just feel like good defense there. That felt like pride, didn't it? He's already gotten into the end zone twice, trying to get there for a 3rd time. No one likes to have the hat trick against them.
They'll try and run. Taylor. This defense bending but not breaking. It's a gain of 3. It's now 4th and goal. Well, if this defense can hold them to a field goal here, what a win that would be.
Not just a win on the possession, but psychologically take over the ball game. But this started with 1st and goal, so they were in 4-down territory right from the beginning. I say you finish it off and go for the touchdown.
1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Trying the power game with Ham. And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. C.J. Ham, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Diablos are closing in on a 3rd straight win as they widen the gap further here in the 4th quarter. As that lead just swells and swells. Look, this has been dominance in all 3 phases, offense, defense, and special teams.
So don't we have to give a lot of credit, not just to what we've seen today, but the preparation in advance, coaching staff, commitment by the players to the game plan, and being ready to go in this one? You're exactly right. Clean sweep. And, boy, they're going to celebrate this one after it's over.
And on the other side, this is the game film you just flush and never go back and review. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Now Prescott. And now here is another interception. Picked by Kevin Byard. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Well, what has been a fantastic game for this defense has been rough for this offense. And certainly a signal caller, Charles, that's thrown all these interceptions. Another one there, and this one taken all the way back for the score.
Partner hoping they're holding a nice little spot in the post-game highlights to show this rip of interceptions and great plays this group has made. They've been on it from snap one.
He will return this from deep in the end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And you can sort of sense their dejection. That last pick six put the icing on the cake, so to speak, in what has been a rough go for them. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. Well, we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance, the passing game's off balance, and the defense is taking advantage.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. To throw is Prescott. Got a man, it's Brown. And out across midfield down to the 45.
Now, this is certainly one of the bigger losses that we are going to see for quite some time. And you have to think at this point where we're at in the fourth quarter with how wide this advantage is. For this offense, they're just trying to end things with a positive drive.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by J.C. Jackson. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line.
Another great play defensively. They've been sharp on both sides of the ball, Charles, but that interception means that this defense will very well keep them down to single digits on the scoreboard in this game.
And that's certainly something to smile about, isn't it, partner, if you're on defense? Because your goal every game is to pitch a shutout, but you and I both know that's pretty unrealistic. But to hold a team below double figures in a game, in an NFL game, that's certainly something to take pride in.
They'll run with Taylor to begin the drive. To about the 33-yard line.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he'll get this up to about the 40.
And after that type of a run, there's some talking going on down on the field, but it's not trash talking. The guy who just carried the ball, he's going back and telling his offensive line, great job, keep it up, and we'll break that one soon.
They'll try and run for the first with Taylor. And strong running there as he's across midfield and down to the 49. With 207 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
A big play there. 46 yards. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
And they'll let the fullback try and take him home. And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown. C.J. Ham with his second touchdown of the night. And the Diablos are closing in on a third straight victory to start the campaign.
Extra point by Butker is on target.
And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away.
And this will be returned from deep in the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Prescott looks to throw on first. And now here's another interception. Picked up by J.C. Jackson. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. Yet another mistake after the interception there. And, gosh, you look up at the scoreboard. They just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
Second down, another run with Taylor.
Oh, he's got a little daylight. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Now it's looking incredibly likely to be a 3-0 start to this season. That is obviously excellent. 2-0 is one thing. 3-0, you really have some momentum.
And now they're serving notice to the rest of the league that they're a pretty darn good football team. Confident, aggressive, attacking at all times. This looks like a team that you're going to have to deal with. And guess what? Behind closed doors, they're trying to figure out ways to get better.
Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time.
Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and this will be scooped up by the defense. Gets through, and now an opening. And the return will stop right around the 25. And I don't know that that fumble is going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the fourth, it doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about, we're going to address this come practice next week, because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point, but being sloppy throughout the game, not going to help him improve.
And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
Second down, another run with Taylor.
They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down.
Maybe I'm wrong, but it looked like even if he had opted to keep that, I don't think there was going to be much to gain.
Seemed like it was perfectly defensive. You know what they say? Those guys on the other side, they get paid too.
Butker's kick here is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
So they got the turnover, started with great field position, but in the end, the defense able to hold firm, and they only get 3 out of it.
And I like what you said right there. That defense able to hold firm, backed up into the shadow of their own end zone. Goalpost right behind them. They had to make sure they didn't give up the 6. And boy, they came through in a big way. To them, even though they gave up 3, that's a win for their side.
And the officials here going to pause the game for a second. Looks like there's an injured Chief on the field.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next? And my goodness, another interception. And what a return as he brings this all the way back down to the 20-yard line.
Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go.
And he's brought down after a very nice gain. An excellent pickup of 20 yards.
Well, fans usually love to see.
I'm really out for blood this time, look.